We all know Gertrude Elizabeth Margaret Anscombe, the giant in moral philosophy and the philosophy of action.
She was obviously a hugely intellectual presence.
But maybe not as well as Roger Teichmann, a lecturer in philosophy at Oxford. His earliest memories of her don't come from academic papers or books. Teichmann met Anscombe when he was just a kid. She was friends with his mom, another philosopher.
It was noticeable if you were a child that she was often interested in what you had to say.
Anscombe had 7 children of her own. Teichmann would often be with them, listening to the adults.
I remember this experience of listening to this conversation and then her turning to me and saying, "Roger, what do you think about such and such?" and being simultaneously flattered and a bit terrified.
As he read her work, Teichmann noticed how Anscombe would reference or quote children.
I think that was significant. She thought that children often had the kind of unspoiled curiosity which is at the kernel of philosophical inquiry, actually.
Anscombe was born in 1919 in Limerick, Ireland, and was a bookworm from an early age. As a teenager, she read a lot of theology and philosophy, and started to feel the pull of the Roman Catholic Church. Teichmann says this alarmed her parents, who were mainstream Church of England types, but they couldn't stop her. She went to Oxford and married Peter Geach, another Catholic convert.
They were both very serious Catholics, and it was the backbone of her spiritual life, obviously.
Her religion informed her worldview. In 1956, faculty at Oxford voted to grant an honorary degree to former U.S. President Harry Truman. Anscombe was aghast. Truman had ordered U.S. troops to drop atomic bombs on Japan during World War II. She detailed this objection in a pamphlet called Mr. Truman's Degree.
I was not seizing an opportunity to make a gesture of protest at atomic bombs. I vehemently object to our action in offering Mr. Truman honors, because one can share in the guilt of a bad action by praise and flattery, as also by defending it.
She basically said, yes, we'd be honoring a murderer if we honored this chap.
Garbed in traditional regalia, the former president was cited as Haricum Truman in the Latin of the ceremony, which hailed his courage and his assistance to the Western world following World War II.
They were voted down, so he got his honorary degree, but it did attract a lot of attention, in fact, international attention.
Anscombe's willingness to be vocal about her beliefs extended to other causes too, including opposition to abortion.
Her views on abortion were, it's a no-no, it's murder. In fact, she was arrested once for turning up at an abortion clinic with one of her daughters, and there's a photograph of her, which was published in The Guardian in 1980-something, being dragged away by a policeman.
She was a character, a leopard-skinned trouser, monocle-sporting philosopher, speaking out against abortion and atomic bombs. After Anscombe died in 2001, an obituary in The Guardian described how she was outspoken, often rude, even dubbed Dragon Lady. Roger Teichmann puts it this way: she was a colorful figure who didn't suffer fools gladly. She would step on toes, but not those beneath her rank.
People of lower rank, students and so on, she was always very nice to, and that's not always the case in academia. Sometimes it works the other way around.
Anscombe died in a Cambridge hospital at the age of 81, reciting the rosary and surrounded by her husband and 4 of their children. For Philosophy Talk, I'm Holly J. McDede.